There's a moment in every woman's life when she realizes that she's not who she used to be, for better or worse. Hopefully, it's for better as you grow and expand and become more confident, more courageous through your life. But sometimes it can be becoming quieter, more introverted, more isolated, you know. It's both confusing and liberating at the same time. And that's sort of the contradiction, you know. There's a shift in identity that occurs when old patterns of behavior, ways that you used to respond to situations, just stop fitting. Like you're no longer willing to tolerate the people who are not supportive in your life. That would be one example of a pattern that no longer fits. A lot of times old expectations of who you are and who you're supposed to be, they start feeling too small as you want to kind of expand your world and grow. A lot of people find this surprising, but I am naturally an introvert. And I like people sometimes, but like if I go to a party or something like that, it's like, I can be friendly and I can be warm and kind and, all those good things. But then when I leave, it's like, you know. So for me, it takes constantly kind of like pushing myself out there, If you're the kind of person who naturally is an extrovert, it might be something to consider to spend a little more time with yourself in, quiet reflection, in considering, who you really are as a person and seeing yourself in a bigger light rather than, just the party girl kind of energy, right? And as a result of that, whether it's expanding outward or maybe it's being a little bit more introspective and, how do I want to say this? Taking stock of who you are as a person and how you've grown and how you want to grow as time goes by, right? You start choosing differently, right? You stop that whole performance thing. I used to do a lot of that performing. And I never thought of it as like I was being dishonest or inauthentic or anything. I just felt it was kind of like giving people what they wanted. I could be kind of like a chameleon and sort of change up my behaviors depending on who I was around. And like, I could no longer do that kind of behavior anymore. It used to feel really natural. And then I reached a point where it's like, no, I'm not going to do this because, when you're like that, it's like you never really know who authentically likes you or not because you're not necessarily being your true self. And I finally decided, and this was me expanding, it's like if people are going to like me, they need to like the real Denise, not the Denise I'm making up in the moment, So it's like I haven't done that. Let me think. I think I was like in my late 30s, maybe 37, 38 when I gave that up, and it's been a really good thing because then the people who are attracted to you and the people who are drawn to you, they are for the right reasons. They are because they genuinely see something terrific in you, So you stop that performing and because the act doesn't fit anymore, no more with the forced smile, right? The fake concern, right? The fake outrage, There used to be a guy, he passed away a few years ago, but anyway, he was a psychologist and he talked a lot about self-esteem and personal growth and all that good stuff. And he had a line in one of his They used to have like these CD programs you would buy, right, rather than download. Anyway, he would say, try to imagine how little I care. I just get such a kick out of that, because basically he was talking about his brother who was always complaining about having a cold and allergies and the sniffly runny nose. And he would say, Wayne Dyer would say, try to imagine how little I care, because he cared about, the smart brother, the one who was caring and supportive and brilliant and all of those things. He didn't care about, the cold and the allergies and all that. So he would say, try to imagine how little I care. Right? And another thing that you stop doing as you are kind of growing into yourself is stop explaining yourself like you have something to apologize for. Now, if you screw up with something, I believe in apologies. I really, truly do, But my sister used to apologize for everything, even when it was unnecessary to apologize. She would apologize about the weather. She would apologize about, a million things, And instead, you start trusting your own clarity and who you truly are. The emotional adulthood piece, growth, it's not dramatic. It's not like, bong, it hits you over the head. It's subtle. It happens on the inside. It's internal. It's kind of quiet, but it's real, And as you make these changes and as you grow, there's a payoff. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. You're not going back. Like, once I stopped playing that little chameleon game and trying to be what I thought people wanted me to be, I got to see, like, people think I'm okay just for me. Like, how cool is that, right? It feels good, right? And truly, that's the moment that your real life truly begins, and you can enjoy just in a genuine way, other people, yourself, everything. So this is Denise. What I wish I knew at 30. Please take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We actually, we have small numbers, but we're growing. We are growing. And I love to see your comments. In fact, I reply to most comments. So I'd love to see yours. So thanks so much and have a great day. Bye-bye.